Hello, everybody, and welcome back. So, in today's video, or I guess stream, let's chat Build Back Better, the infrastructure plan that was supposed to happen. So, I live here in the U.S., U.S. citizen, consider myself to be on the progressive side, and was kind of looking forward to a number of things that were in this plan that would have made it actually pretty good, pretty decent. Background, history. If you're on the progressive side, originally you were looking at Bernie Sanders. His original hope was 10 trillion, right? That was the start. That was going to be the way that the US actually has a decent chance at rebuilding infrastructure, investing in people. Would have been great. Then it got negotiated down. Then they got down to 6 trillion. Then it got down to 3.5 trillion. And now it's being whittled away even more to 1.75 trillion. And apparently, not even that is going to be supported. So yeah, it's kind of frustrating to see it happen. And then you wonder why most people completely check out of politics and think that the government can't do anything, can't help people, because they never seem to do it. So just to start, let's go background on the whole Build Back Better, just in general. So what was the plan? So Build Back Better, legislative plan from Joe Biden, help with COVID-19, boost recovery, invest in new infrastructure, right? That was kind of the hope, the plan to get things done. So what was the vision for it? So obviously this is all on Wikipedia. You can go look at this. So before his inauguration, he had his goals: build modern infrastructure, U.S. auto industry to win 21st century, carbon pollution-free power sector, dramatic investments in energy efficiency in buildings, a million new affordable homes, historic investment in clean energy, sustained agriculture and conservation, and environmental justice and equitable economic opportunity. Sounds pretty great, right? Sounds like this would actually be pretty decent, help a lot of people. So here's the American Rescue Plan, American Jobs Plan. This all kind of got rolled together, right? So March 31st, 2021, details 2.3 trillion. Plan goes into what the physical infrastructure would have been, infrastructure at home, what they were calling it. So like the human infrastructure part of it, actually investing in people, helping them out. But then we get to the bipartisan bill, right? So this is the bill that Biden was really happy, got a bunch of Republicans to sign on for. So I think it was 19, I believe, who actually voted for it in favor of this. That 1.2 trillion agreement for physical infrastructure. So like roads, bridges, all that kind of stuff. Now 110 billion for roads, transportation safety, modernization. Now this sounds great. Why did 19 Republicans vote for it? Because it is largely a giveaway. It privatizes a lot of this stuff. So the original plan from the progressive side was, we're not going to support any of this unless it comes with the human infrastructure plan as well. So actually investing in people, right? So there's more here. I don't want to go through all of it, but the reconciliation bill, that's the one where it goes through the reconciliation process. You do not need the 60 senators to vote, right? If they decide to filibuster, you do not need 60 senators to break the filibuster. You can just pass it with a simple majority. So 50-50 split in the Senate. Then you have the vice president who can break that tie, right? Be the 51st. So the idea with reconciliation was there was actually going to be human infrastructure that was actually going to be good and help people and would be paired together with the bipartisan bill that would get passed in tandem. That was the original plan, right? measures for climate change, family aid, and expansions to Medicare. So would have included expansions for hearing, vision, dental, because apparently all of that stuff is separate from health insurance. You know, your eyes, your teeth, your ears aren't part of your body for some really fucked up reason in the US. Would have included that, and it would have lowered the age to 55, I believe. So yeah, 3.5 trillion. Couldn't gain support of moderate Democrats. Fuck this word. Moderate Democrats. Are you fucking kidding? This is a joke. Anytime you see this, absolute joke. They are not moderates. They are corporatists. They are owned by corporations. We are talking about Kyrsten Sinema. We are talking about Joe Manchin. Now, they're obviously the most vocal. They're the ones who have come out against it. But I'm sure there's a whole other list of Democrats who, if push came to shove, if they had to vote for this, they would vote it down. Similar to what happened with the $15 minimum wage. There's like 8 Democrat senators who decided to vote that down. Kyrsten Sinema being included in that bunch. So, where are we at now? What's happening now? It was 3.5 trillion, but now 1.75 trillion. And what's happening with that? So let's see. What is going on? Top story today. In blow to Biden, Joe Manchin will not commit to backing 1.75 trillion spending bill. Shocking. U.S. President Joe Biden's domestic agenda suffered a significant setback on Monday when moderate, there's that fucking word again, Democratic Senator Joe Manchin announced he would not yet support a $1.75 trillion framework unveiled late last week. What is the reason he gives? While I've worked hard to find a path to compromise, it's obvious. Compromise is not good enough for a lot of my colleagues in Congress. It's all or nothing, and their position doesn't seem to change unless we agree to everything, Manchin told a news conference. So what is he doing here? He's blaming progressives, who are saying, we are following the original deal. The original agreement was, we're going to bundle these together. We have the bipartisan bill and the reconciliation bill. They go together. They get voted on together. They pass together. If one goes, it's nothing. We're not delinking them. That was the original deal. Enough is enough. It's time our elected leaders in Washington, all of us, stop playing games with the needs of the American people in holding a critical infrastructure bill hostage. Can you believe this motherfucker? Can you believe this person? Are you kidding? Stop playing games with the needs of the American people. How bold and how brazen do you have to be to say those words while at the same time you are one of the main reasons why people are not getting help? Why the fact that prescription drug negotiation got killed in the bill. It's gone completely. That is a massively popular thing. People want that. What was the number? Let me pull it up, see if I can find it real quick. It's something insane. It's something like 85%. September 29th. This is old, but let's see. Where's the one that I saw? Anyway. A new poll found that 56% of voters support giving Medicare the power to negotiate for lower drug prices. So still, a majority. I want to find the one where I saw where they broke it down by each provision. Because that one was crazy. I think it was Data for Progress. Was it Data for Progress poll? Let's see. Yeah, here we go. Support the Investment Infrastructure and Jobs Act. Like, this is nuts. All likely voters, 69. Net approval of 47. That's insane. You would think with all the talk that you hear on mainstream news of how we are completely divided as a country, that we can't agree on anything, that we are diametrically just opposed, period, that we wouldn't be able to agree on anything like this. 69% of the country, of people who are likely to vote, agree this is good. This is insane. 61%. Now let's look at the specific provisions in the proposed budget. So 3.5, obviously this is already done. It's been killed. It's now 1.75. But look at the numbers. Long-term care, 80%. Modernizing the electricity grid, 74. K through 12, 73. Pathway to citizenship, 61. Lowering Medicare eligibility age, 58. And extending the child tax benefit, 53. All of these things are popular. Every single one is a majority support by Americans. But then you have the people like Kyrsten Sinema and Joe Manchin who don't really care, who do not care at all, because they are serving their real constituents, the businesses, the wealthy who fund their campaigns. And then you end up going from 3.5 to 1.75, and now probably not even that. It's just so annoying that we cannot get anything done in this country. It's so frustrating because money owns all the politicians. It is absolutely insane. In any sane society, these people would be put in jail for corruption. This is insane. All right, what else did Manchin say? Portrayed the bill as being filled with shell games, budget gimmicks, end up costing far more than the $1.75 trillion price tag. Yeah, okay. Sure. Let's take your word for it, Manchin. All right, aimed at progressives. Immediate action. Okay, so here's what he's doing. Manchin demanded immediate action in the U.S. House of Representatives on the $1 trillion infrastructure bill Senate passed in August with the support of 19 Republicans. So his goal is to completely kill the human infrastructure bill. Because as soon as this passes, as soon as the bipartisan corporate giveaway bill passes, no chance human infrastructure goes anywhere. Not a chance. That's why 19 fucking Republicans signed on to do this, so that they could completely kill a bill that, even with, let's see, where was the breakdown for Republicans? 3.5 trillion. Even 40%, and this is old, right? This is an old poll. So this is back in August. It's gotten more popular, but even if we look at this one, 40% support this. So you would think in a representative democracy, somewhere in the ballpark of 40% of elected Republicans would be supporting this. Yet not a single one does. Not a single one votes in support of the human infrastructure. Because it's far more important to own the libs and completely obstruct anything Biden wants to do than to actually help the people that put you in office. So annoying. Credit where credit is due. Over the past, year, I guess, progressives have been largely disappointing. Didn't fight when it came time for the $15 minimum wage. Could argue that they didn't fight to force a vote on Medicare for all. Where you fall on that doesn't really matter, but could argue they haven't done much. Haven't done a lot for the progressive movement. Haven't really given people a lot of hope or faith to believe that they can actually get anything done, right? But credit where credit is due. Because They are actually holding the line. So progressives in Biden's Democratic Party have demanded that no vote occur on the measure until a larger bill to expand social programs and attack climate change was first assured of Senate passage. Right? Saw it constantly when this first came out. No climate, no deal. That was the line from so many progressives. And to their credit, they held the line. Nancy Pelosi wanted to hold a vote for the bipartisan bill. She did not have the votes because progressives told her no. In addition to hoping to pass the two major bills, Congress in the next 5 weeks faces critical deadlines to avoid a government shutdown, potential embarrassments for Democrats, and avert an unprecedented default on the federal government's debt with its catastrophic economic consequences. And then, of course, Biden's legacy on the line. Okay. This part, you can say Biden nominally supports this, nominally wants this to happen, but he clearly isn't fighting that hard for it. Like, he's just not. To go from 6 trillion to 3.5 to now 1.75, and God knows how much lower it's going to go if it happens at all. He clearly doesn't care that much. So I'm sure he wants to have some kind of legacy, but he has done nothing to indicate that he's willing to fight at all for any of this. Like, there are ways to make the Democratic lawmakers fall in line. You can do it. You are the president. This idea that you have no leverage, that somehow we now have fucking President Kyrsten Sinema and President Joe Manchin, who get every single fucking thing they want for their donors. They completely kill all the good parts of the bill, and he can't do anything about it, is infuriating. Like, what are you doing? This is not how you keep a legacy. Your legacy is going to be that you are an epic failure. Yeah, here's a great line. I don't think it's hyperbole to say that the House and Senate majorities and my presidency will be determined by what happens in the next week. Yeah, no shit. It's just so annoying how anybody can look at this and think, yeah, like if you live in West Virginia, how could you possibly support Manchin? Like, you have some of the worst health outcomes in the country. You're ranked like 49th out of 50. You are one of the most uneducated states, excuse me. Like, there's not a great outlook for people in West Virginia. Like, why? How could you support this person? And this whole line that he keeps saying that I'm a West Virginia Democrat. No, you're fucking not. You're really not. You are more or less just a Republican. You voted with Trump like 60% of the time. So clearly, no, you are not just some West Virginia Democrat. People in West Virginia want this stuff to pass. It's so frustrating. All right, let's see what Manchin actually said. He had a video here. Let's see. So, from the horse's mouth, what is his reasoning for why he wants to get rid of this?
He urged the importance of voting and passing the BIF bill before the president took the world stage overseas, and still no action. In my view, this is not how the United States Congress should operate, or in my view, has operated in the past. The political games have to stop. Twice now that
you are the one playing the games. Jesus fucking Christ. This is so infuriating. He is the one playing the fucking games. He is the one who keeps saying, oh yeah, maybe I'll support it, but no, I don't. When back in fucking January, he was calling for 4 trillion. You are the one playing games. God damn it.
the House has balked at the opportunity to send the BIF legislation to the president. As you've heard, there are some House Democrats who say they can't support this infrastructure package until they get my commitment on the reconciliation legislation. It is time to vote on the BIF bill, up or down, and then go home and explain to your constituents the decision you made. And I've always said, if I can't go home and explain it, I can't vote for it, and if I can, I will. I've worked in good faith for 3 months.
How can you possibly explain to someone who cannot afford insulin why you do not support letting Medicare negotiate drug prices? How can you possibly go back to your state and make that case? This is absolutely insane. These fucking people. This man should be in prison from accepting bribes and killing everything that the American people would actually want and support. And this whole bullshit of the, oh, beware the deficit. Oh my God, are you kidding me? If you are so concerned about the deficit, repeal the Trump tax cuts. There you go. $2+ trillion right there. If you are so concerned about the deficit, re-add the fucking billionaire tax.
Last 3 months with President Biden, Leader Schumer, Speaker Pelosi, and my colleagues on the reconciliation bill, and I will continue to do so. For the sake of the country, I urge the House to vote and pass the bipartisan infrastructure bill. Holding this bill hostage is not going to work in getting my support for reconciliation bill. Throughout the last 3 months, I've been straightforward about my concerns that I will not support a reconciliation package that expands social programs and irresponsibly adds to our $29 trillion in national debt.
Again, this was paid for, but you and Sinema did not want the tax on your donors, on the corporations that made it possible for you to get into office. Oh my God, fuck this guy.
That no one seems to really care about or even talk about. Nor will I support a package.
That's all you fucking talk about. That's all Republicans fucking talk about, is the debt and the deficit.
That risks hurting American families suffering from historic inflation. Simply put, I will not support a bill that is this consequential without thoroughly understanding the impact that it'll have on our national debt, our economy, and most importantly, all of our American people. Every elected representative needs to know what they are voting for and the impact it has, not only on their constituents, but the entire country.
Holy fucking Christ. How anyone could watch that and actually take him seriously is beyond me. Like, absolutely insane. How you could listen to that man, who is worth millions, by the way, say that he is so concerned about the debt and the deficit from a spending package that was paid for, but then you decided you didn't like the increased tax on your billionaires. How anyone can take him seriously and listen to him, how you have any support from anybody, is beyond me. Like, absolutely insane. The only people I could see supporting the likes of Manchin and Sinema are people who are in the top 1%. That is the only group that it makes sense. And if you are in that group and you support them, I get it. I understand. If you're making $100 million a year and you don't want to be taxed more, yeah, okay. I get why you support who you support. But if you are an average American living in West Virginia, how could you possibly support this guy? It absolutely blows my fucking mind that this idea that you have to own the libs, or that the culture war bullshit is so powerful that it just gives you complete brain rot. You don't pay attention to how any of these people actually vote on things that could economically help you, could actually make your life better, and you still support them. It absolutely blows my mind. Delivers remarks. Yeah, okay, we heard the remarks. All the while, there are ways you can whip him into line. His family are criminals. You could force him to support the bill. If you are Biden, call him into the office and tell him, hey, guess what? We have the emails. We know exactly what your daughter did, jacking up the prices of fucking EpiPens. Like, we have the email asking, how do we justify this price? What is the medical reason we have to give to justify jacking up the price? Some 400 fucking percent. Yeah, how do we do that? That is a crime. She should be in prison. And if you are Joe Biden, you can talk to Manchin and say, hey, guess what? We have it. We have all this information. She can go to prison. And Merrick Garland might just start investigating her. What do you do? What do you want, Joe? You want your daughter to go to prison? If you don't, you better get in line and vote for the reconciliation bill, which now doesn't even fucking matter because now it's a complete husk of what it was. But he's not even doing that. He's literally not doing anything. Now the call is what from Pelosi? Hey, don't embarrass the president while he's overseas. Get fucked. Are you serious? Don't embarrass the president while he's overseas. All right. To the progressives, vote this down. Absolutely vote this down. If it comes to the floor and you have to vote for this shit, do not support it. It has been shown time and time again that they are not going to take you seriously if every single fucking time you just fold. No one is going to take you seriously in any future negotiation if they know that ultimately, yeah, you're just going to fold. Please, for the love of God, progressives in Congress, stand strong, vote this shit down, send a message that you cannot give a complete husk of a bill, you cannot completely break the deal, and then expect to still have your support. Please, sweet God, do not let that happen. Like, I don't know what it is going to take, but holy fucking fuck. I really, really hope they hold it and actually vote this shit down. But most likely, it's not going to happen. Would be my guess, is that once again, progressives are going to fold, as they always do. Because what's going to happen? If it comes to a vote, comes to the floor, one of two things. Either progressives vote it down, and then the fucking media machine goes to work and rips them apart. Completely destroys them. Say that it's because of progressives that you got nothing. That there's no extended child tax credit for a year. There's no infrastructure investments at all. It's because of the progressives and not fucking Kyrsten Sinema and Joe fucking Manchin. That's the first thing that could happen if they don't support it. And sad to say, time and time again, progressives have shown they really like being liked. They really do. There is not someone in there who has the backbone to say, you know what? No. Go and do the interviews and say, you know what? No, that's completely false. It is not our fault that we're not getting anything. We had the deal. We had the agreement. It was going to be in tandem, 3.5 trillion. We were actually going to help people. But no. They're not going to go on media and do that and fight back. They just fold. So the other outcome is going to be that they vote for it, and then they get to do their victory lap along with the other Democrats saying, oh, look at how great. Look at the crumbs we gave you and how great it was. You know, don't think about or don't even look at what you could have had, but because of two fucking people, you don't. But yeah, don't look at that. Forget about that. You know, you could have had free community college for 2 years. Don't worry about that. You know, you get 1 year of a tax credit if you have a kid. Yeah. That's the really great thing you got, you know? Look at how absolutely life-changing that was. And I'm not discrediting the child tax credit. As we saw, that helped millions of people afford food, shelter, clothing, education, all of those things for their children. Got millions of kids out of poverty. That is a great thing. It should keep going. This should not be means tested. This should not just be a 1-year extension. Keep it going in perpetuity. What is the problem? By definition, if you look at this, if you are so concerned that, look at the top 10%, right? No way they would need the tax credit, right? But you cover the other 90% of people. Why is that bad? Just raise taxes a little on the 10%. If they really didn't need the child tax credit, okay, get it back at the end of the year. On the other hand, if you means test it for the 1-year extension, which it sounds like they're going to do, now there's a good chance people who actually need it are not going to get it. Because God forbid you make $60,001 in an expensive city, you no longer qualify. How fucked up is that? Why do we have to go through this whole means testing? Why? It causes more work, requires more resources to figure it out and to monitor that the people who shouldn't get it aren't getting it. God forbid 10% get it and didn't need it and then tax them at the end of the year to get it back. So fucking annoying. But yeah, that'll be, 1 year of that. Congrats, you get that. And then, to add the cherry on top, you're going to have a bunch of Republicans come out and be like, oh, yes, we're going to take a victory lap. Look at us, snaps for us. Look at what we did. Look at what we got passed. You now get the child tax credit. Oh, we're going to fix that road. Guess what? One of our donors is the one who's getting the contract to fix the road. But hey, we fixed the road. And it just keeps going. Endless cycle. And then we have complete obliteration. In 2022, Democrats completely out of power. And God knows when anything is ever going to happen for normal people after that. It's just so annoying how anybody could look at this and believe like, oh yeah, Joe Manchin represents me and what I want. And even on the Republican side, like I showed, 40%. Again, I think the numbers are higher now. I might try finding the article. But how you could have 40% support and not a single one signs on. God damn, man. Rip it all up. Start over. Needs a complete refresh. Fucking Citizens United. Worst thing to happen to this country. Absolutely insane. That the idea that money is free speech, so you can spend whatever you want. Holy fuck. How that has completely fucked us. What is
one of
this?
the critical power.
We're taking president's word that he can secure votes on spend. Yeah, good fucking luck. Joins Andrea Mitchell in discussing the negotiations in Congress as Democrats continue to make efforts to pass the Biden administration social spending bill. Taking the president's word at face value, you can get 50 votes in the Senate. Oh, let's hear this. Okay. No fucking
in all of
chance.
this, someone who could tell us exactly what's happening, the head of the House Progressive Caucus, Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal, who represents the 7th District of Washington and is the chair of the Congressional Progressive Caucus. Congresswoman, thank you so much for being with us today. You endorsed the White House framework last week, you as a group, of course. Are you confident that those two senators will be for it? Because they have been less than definitive in what they've said so far publicly.
Yes, Andrea, it's good to see you. And we did endorse the framework. And in fact, we also had a very, very good meeting yesterday of the full CPC after the text was released, which is something that we were asking for the Build Back Better Act. And I'm very happy to say that we are now awaiting negotiations amongst senators on prescription drug pricing and child.
And I'm pretty sure this is the thing that they just said, that Manchin clip we just watched, is like, you know what? No, I'm not on board.
Care and some details on immigration. But the Progressive Caucus, assuming good resolution of those issues from the Senate side, that we will be excited to vote for both bills. We now feel like we have what we need. We are taking the president's word at the fact that he believes he can get 50 votes in the Senate. And, you know, I hope that the two senators that we've been waiting on these months, who have come to the table in good faith and negotiated, that they understand that this is a leap of faith. But, you know, assuming we get these final negotiations done, we're ready to pass both bills. And I think the caucus feels very good about the fact that we've been able to do what we said from the beginning, which is pass both bills at the same time, get the entirety of the president's agenda to his desk for signature.
The entire agenda. It's not the entire agenda. That is what's so annoying. So much has been stripped out. Prescription drug prices is gone. Medicare expansion is gone. This is not the entire agenda. How does this actually help people? And this, to me, is the clear indication. If you have the head of the Progressive Caucus telling you in an interview that you are taking the word that they are going to have 50 senators on board to make this happen, they are going to fucking fold. They will take the vote on the bipartisan bill. They will put it through, and then reconciliation is going to die.
Ultimately deliver transformative change for people across this country.
What transformative change? There's nothing in the bill left that is transformative. God damn it.
But there's a big if there. If you don't get Senate agreement on child care, immigration, prescription drugs, does that mean that you won't go forward?
Well, I think that we are very, very close, is my understanding. And it isn't just the two senators at this point. You know, you have to get 50 votes in the Senate. So there are different senators who are pushing very hard for different pieces of this bill, including the prescription drug pricing piece. And on childcare, actually, is really not about the overall. It's really
Jesus fucking Christ. How can these things be left out? Oh my God. Paid family leave. How is that out? Like, how do you look at that and think, you know what? Yeah, no one really needs that. We are the only country, developed country in the world that does not guarantee this to everyone. It was supposed to be 12 weeks. That's pretty decent. Then 4 weeks was the revised, and now it's out completely. Free community college. When everyone keeps telling you the way to advance your life, get out of poverty is through education. But hey, we can't fund your education. If you can't fund it, go be in debt for the rest of your life. Get fucked. Expanded Medicare coverage for dental and vision. So what? Your teeth and eyes? It's not part of your health? And prescription drug reform. God damn it. And this is what happens when you have senators who are bought and owned. by Big Pharma. Kyrsten Sinema got close to $1 million from Big Pharma to kill this. And lo and behold, it's out of the fucking bill. Shocker. Oh, God. Some stuff that's still in. This is good. Universal pre-K, elder care. God knows at 1.75, if they're still talking about this as being over 10 years, how much money's actually going to be available for that. So they're going to means test the shit out of it. So most likely you're not going to get the care that you want or the care that you're expecting. Expanded child tax credit for a year. So clean energy tax credits. This is going to be gone for sure. Manchin makes money from the coal plant that his son owns. He makes millions off of this. No chance this stays. Expanded healthcare coverage, whatever that means. Medicare for hearing. All right, so at least your ears are now part of your body if you're a senior. So at least if you're going deaf now and you're on Medicare, you can actually get hearing aids. Affordable housing, free school meals, immigration reform funding. God damn it, man.
About the implementation details, there are some differences between the language and what the Biden framework said. So we are trying to iron out those differences. But my hope is that
what
will
are the
happen
differences?
very.
Yeah, the details matter. Because if it ends up being you means test the shit out of this, that all of those things that it said is included, and they means test it like if you make just above the poverty line, you don't qualify for any of it, yeah, fuck that.
And as I said, look, I think we're in the very end zone here. We are just about to get this done, and we're feeling very good about both bills. And the president, frankly, being able to say once we deliver the Build Back Better Act, what a crucial time this is. Boris Johnson talking about how important climate is. There's a $555 billion investment in climate, and we spent the weekend looking at whether it would really lead to significant reductions, meaningful reductions in climate emissions. And our belief, given the...
All right, clean energy, 555, 400, child tax credit, 200 billion, home care, 150. All right, Affordable Care Act credits, Pell Grants, Medicare, other. All right.
Detailed look that we have had and the briefings we've had from the White House, that yes, we will get there with that. And so that is a huge victory. And that's why we think, that we should pass these two bills together as soon as possible. And let's wrap up these negotiations. Let's get these last things done and let's pass them through. I think we're ready.
Now, it is fairly likely that the Senate parliamentarian will rule out the immigration piece.
Holy fuck, that's another thing. How the fuck is an unelected staffer able to kill so much? Because the Democrats don't want to do it. Isn't it funny? When Democrats aren't in power, right? They don't have a majority in anything. They don't have the presidency, so on and so forth. Isn't it funny that when that's the case, they talk so big? Here are all the things we want to do. Here's how we're going to get Medicare for all. Here's how we're going to completely change your life, make it so that everyone actually has an equal opportunity to be successful in this country. Then, when they get into power, never fails. There's always a few, in this case, Manchin and Sinema, who make it so that we can't have any of those things that they were promising for so long that we were going to have. Ain't that funny? Republicans are never going to do anything for you. All they care about is deregulation, cutting taxes, making their billionaire buddies even richer. All right? That's a given. But you would think, for all the big talk that the Democrats have, that when they're actually in a position to do something, that they would actually do it. But no, they don't. Never. Ain't that funny? And you have the likes of the fucking Senate parliamentarian. Someone who knows, nobody knows who they are. They don't care who they are. They weren't elected. They have no power. They are a fucking staffer You know what happened when the when the Republicans were in control, said that you can't really do the tax cuts that you want to the Republicans. You know what Mitch McConnell said to the staffer? Great, fuck you, you're fired. Then they put in a new one who said, oh yeah, you can do that. And then they passed the fucking Trump tax cuts. Jesus Christ, Democrats have no backbone. So fucking infuriating.
Based on precedent, saying that it doesn't belong in reconciliation. So are you willing to go without that, or do you want to push it to a vote, push your members to a vote, and then have it come back and be knocked out of the Senate version, and then you'd have to vote again in the House?
Well, Andrea, you know I've been an immigrant rights activist my whole life, 20 years before coming to...
No chance the parliamentarian lets this in to reconciliation. Zero.
Congress, such an important issue for me as one of only 14 naturalized citizens. And I had really hoped and been pushing for immigration as part of this bill. And I have brought it up to the president multiple times. And what we have...
All right. I guess that's it. God. Set traps for... Okay. I don't even know if I want to look at what that is. I like Brian's channel. He does good stuff. But at this point, anyone who does this all day for a living and actually cares and isn't just trying to grift off of this, how do you do it? Like, god damn. If you are a full-time leftist commentator, I don't know how you do this and actually maintain your sanity. I have been doing this for less than an hour, and I am already furious. God, so annoying. All right, I need to switch to something else.